Hello, crafty friends. This is Nye here. So today what we are going to be doing, we are going to be assembling our Star of David gift box. Now, I have my sample right here. This is what we're aiming for with our final project. It's got the lid and then the base. And as you can see, it opens and you can put everything right back on and it closes. And this is kind of what we're going for, okay? So this is our final project. Now, as you can see, I have all of my pieces. They are cut out. When I was cutting them, and when I was scoring them, you could see that all of the pieces, they have some kind of symbol on them. And what we want to do is group them according to the symbols. So this one here has kind of like the hexagon on it. And so you can hopefully, let me just use these edge pieces here. Hopefully you can see them kind of like right here and here and here. Up in the corner, there is a little hexagon shape. These three will go with the star here that also has the little hexagon shape on it, okay? Now, this is going to be the lid of our box, and the base of our box also has, so I'll get to this one in a second. The base of our box, it also has these oval marks on it. So the star has the oval, and then the three side pieces here, they've got the oval shape. So one right here, and then right here up in the corner on the side pieces. Now, there was also a star that doesn't have anything on it. So you can see it here. It's completely, there's no symbol on it. This is going to be the insert that goes with our base. And so after we glue the sides down, this is going to just be the piece that we glue inside the box. That's going to kind of hide a little bit of our tabs here. So it looks a little bit pretty if you decide to put something in there and then you want to open it. All right. And then I have these two pieces here. These are going to glue on top of the lid. They're just going to be the lid pieces. Okay. So here we go. We're going to get started. I'm going to start with the base. Now, I will be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing. Let me just make sure that it's good to go. And if you want, make sure you have a bone folder handy. It might help you with all of your scoring. I'm just going to use my fingers, but I'll show you how I use my bone folder with it. Okay. So here we go. We're going to get started. Now, we're looking for the side piece. We're starting with the ovals. We're looking for the side piece that has one oval on it. And what we're going to do is just take a look at it and you'll see all of the score lines. Everywhere that there's kind of like a gap with these tabs, that's where it's going to fold because that's going right on our edge piece. Or right at the corner, I should say, when we're gluing. And so all I'm doing is gluing these tabs here. Or not gluing. All I'm doing is folding these tabs here. And I'm just folding them because I'm folding right on the score lines to just bend the paper because this is what's going to glue the side piece together. And I'm folding now right on the long score lines that are going across on this side piece here as well. All right. Okay. So now we kind of have an idea here. I'm going to fold both ways here because it's going to go all different kinds of ways. All right. Okay. So we're going to take this corner tab, this long one here where our oval is, and the oval is going to match with the oval right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here to these tabs, and I'm going to press it down and line it up right along the edge here. All right, so I'm going to glue this one down and then I'll hold it up so you guys can see because you probably cannot see it. All right, so I'm holding it here and then what I'm going to do is I'm coming in on the inside and I'm pressing the tabs down and I'm giving it a moment just to make sure that the glue bonds to the paper and it dries here before I really try and work with it. Okay, and I went right along the edge here. So the side piece, so hopefully you can see it, it's matching up right here along the edge. So it's kind of making a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to do the same thing now for this side here. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add my glue right here. And I'm pressing it right along the edge. So that way everything lines up, okay? And so you can see these folded, what I was saying earlier with where the paper bends here and these tabs, how they're on angles, they're lining up perfectly as we fold here. So I'm going to do the next side. And again, I'm going to turn the paper. And if you need to pick it up, then that's okay too. What you want to do, the most important thing I should say, is that you're meeting right on the edge. So if it's easier for you to hold the paper in your hand, go right ahead. See, this part's kind of coming off there. I'm going to push it a little bit more so that way it meets there. Okay. And I gotta make sure I stay in my camera. I am so always concerned that I'm gonna go right out of the camera there. Okay. I saw a little hair. It was bothering me. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing here as well. And that's all we're gonna do now is just follow along with the tabs until we run out of paper, and then we need the next one. So if you have any glue seeping too, you could just wipe it like that. Just be careful, you know, it is paper. You can get yourself a paper cut if you're too vigorous there. All right, and now we're gonna do this part here. And I'm just gonna lift this up and then press it down. All right. And so as you're going to, just kind of fold the paper right along to kind of make that crease at the edges a little bit stronger too. Okay, so there we go. That's our first side and it looks great so far. I'm gonna grab the second piece now, and that's the one that has two of the ovals there. It's gonna line up here with the two ovals. We're gonna do the same thing that we did for the first one, and that is just folding along all of the score lines again and folding down the tabs. So I'm folding these towards me, and you can use your bone folder here, like I'll show you with this one, because I don't think I did with the other one. But you can use your bone folder here just to kind of make sure that all of these tabs are really bending. So I'm gonna go this way, and you just take your bone folder, hopefully I'm still in my camera, and just pressing it down, just like that. And it makes it nice, and it just makes it, it actually does make it easier, but sometimes I just don't use mine all the time. It's a personal preference kind of thing. Okay, so now for this tab here, this tab is going to glue to this. And we're doing that to just seal off the box, because if we didn't have this tab, what would happen is there would be a gap and you would be able to see into the box that way. So this just kind of seals it off. It's almost like a zipper or something. It closes everything off so that way you can't see anymore. All right, so I've glued that part down first, and then all I'm gonna do is just hold this right here, give that one, excuse me, a chance to dry and bond. And then same thing, I'm gonna add the glue now on the inside here, lift these up just so that way they fold, and just making sure that it's right along the edge. You can see this part's off just a little bit. Oh, that's because it started to dry completely. Okay, and again, I'm just gonna make sure that that edge is good. Then adding my glue right here, and then turning, and then allowing it to line up right there. And remember, like I said, if you have any glue that seeps out, you can just wipe it with your fingers. So I've got this little bit here. And all that does too, like if it does seep out and you wipe it there, it just kind of adds another little bit of seal. And if you're using art glitter glue like I am, it's gonna dry clear. And so there won't be anything to worry about. It'll be, it won't show up. which is fantastic. Some glues, they are the white glue, and then they do show up, and it does kind of look funny with your project there or your craft. All right, so we're almost done with this one. I'm gonna fold this one right there and just pinch that one there. And now for this last piece of this side, I'm gonna add this one right there to the edge. And I think that I was a little bit, I probably went out of the camera. I think that I was a little bit off. Yep, right here. I can see it. So I've got a little bit hanging right there, but it's okay. It's small enough that it won't really show. Okay, so now for our last bit here. So we've got the last side, and this one has the 3 ovals. We just glued this one down on top of where the ovals are, but this is where it's gonna line up. And because this is such a small piece, you can really see how it's gonna finish off here. Okay, so again, I'm just folding this part, folding this here along this side, and now we are good to go. Okay, so this tab is going to glue to this tab right here to create that seal again. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here on here, and then a little bit right here onto the base. And then I'm just going to glue the side part first, just to make sure that I get it lined up into the right position. And then I'm also going to hold it here so that way the base glues down here. The tabs glue there as well. Okay, so now for this last part, you can see how it's going to finish off right here. You want to make sure though that this tab glues onto the inside, that you don't want it to glue on the outside, because then you're going to see the flap there and it won't appear seamless. So I'm going to add the glue right here underneath, and then I'm going to add the glue on this part of the tab, and then just piece it together like that final piece of a puzzle. Everything will fit just right. It'll be like Goldilocks there. All right, and then just pressing everything down, and yay, this will finish our base. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there you go, you can see it. All right, so now what you need to do is just kind of get your orientation again. And you can see I just had mine there, like if it's this way, you can tell if it's off. You could just tell. All right, so we're gonna take our base, and what you wanna do though is check the orientation, drop it down in there first, and make sure that it fits. There we go. Okay, see, my orientation was off that first round. So again, just place it in, make sure that it fits before you add the glue to the back, because once you add the glue and if it sticks, then you'll have to recut it and that won't be fun. Okay, so I'm just adding a bunch of glue there to the back, and I'm just placing it down and letting it kind of drop and get into a position where it kind of is covering a good bit of the tabs. It's okay if you see a little bit of the edges there. That's not the end of the world. And there we go. That looks great. Okay, so now we're ready for the top. Now, when it comes to the top, orientation, again, it's going to be super important. All right, so we have our sides here. So I'm going to kind of put them in an order. We've got 1, 2 of the hexagons, and then 3. So I'm going to put them right there. My bone folder is making noise. And I have my lid, okay? So now the tricky part with the lid is orientation, again, is key. So we have our sides, or the side that has the score lines on it, the pentagons here, the 3 of them, or hexagons, I think I said. That's what they are, hexagons. So what we want to do though is we need to make sure that we're putting them in the correct order. So we have our hexagons, which will help us to have it, but what we want to do is kind of flip it over. So that way we have the right orientation. So we're going to be placing the sides on the back side of it, okay? I know it seems counterintuitive, but that's what we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna flip it over. So we have the one hexagon facing us, and then we're going to take it and flip it over. And now we're going to start right down here where we know the one hexagon is. So if you need to remember that, we're gonna start with the one, and then we're gonna flip it over, and we're gonna go right here. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start folding here. Now, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna speed up the video because it's gonna be basically the same thing, but it's a little different because we're kind of working backwards. So I think what I'll do is I'll work through this first one with you guys, and then when we do the second and third sides, then I will speed it up. So that way the video is not crazy long, because this one is gonna take a while. Even though we're close to being done, it does take a while because I'm walking you through the steps here. All right, so again, I'm just folding here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it this way, and then we're going to glue down. I'm gonna move this out of the way. We're gonna glue down right here at the start with the one hexagon. So same thing as before, adding a little bit of glue to the tabs, and then placing it down right in that spot there. Okay, and then just giving it a chance to dry and to bond. Very important. It's really important, especially right at this first step, that it dries and bonds. So that way when you get started, it doesn't shift. So you can see there's my one hexagon. That's where I'm starting. And so that's where I started. So I'm a-okay, I'm good to go. So I'm adding the glue now here. I'm gonna keep going and adding it here at the same time, just to kind of keep things moving. And I'm gonna hold it up here, hopefully. Again, I'm always concerned I'm going out of the camera. I'm gonna place a little bit more glue right on top there. I'm gonna lift up these sides, and then fold right there, and then placing it down. Okay, this looks awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna fold it now this side, and this one's gonna come this way. Whoops, that one went under. So I'm going to, again, fold this one right there. And I'm gonna do two at the same time again. So glue there, and then glue here on that side. I'm gonna glue the one side first. So holding it right there. I'm gonna lift this piece up because for some reason this one doesn't wanna go. And then pressing everything down and pushing it so it lines right up there at the edge. Okay, all right. So now for the second one, same thing like we did with the first, with the base, and same thing like we did with the first one. So you can see well, we're just gonna keep going. I don't think it lined up the way that I thought, but we're gonna keep going because it's gonna work. Okay, so I'm just folding these again. And once more, I'm folding these here. And then we're going to start gluing, but it will all work, I promise, because the measurements are consistent, okay? So my two, I started at the one, but it was supposed to go the other way, and I went the wrong way, but that's okay. I was supposed to go this way when I was gluing, so I would end up here, but I went the other way. And like I said, I made the mistake, but it's okay. It'll still work out the same way. All right, and so you'll see it as we're gluing. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to glue this side piece here and then along the bottom, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna speed up the video, but you'll see how it will all work out, okay? So here we go. Okay, so here we are. We finished it off. And like I said, everything worked out even though I folded it the wrong way there. I folded it towards the other side. Okay, so here we are. So what you want to do is find again that single pentagon or hexagon. I don't know why I keep calling it that. You want to find that single one right there, and then you just want to take it and place it right on top. And so that will finish it, okay? And now let's add the top here. Now, for this part, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of eyeball where we want it to go. What you do wanna do is, so I kind of went ahead and I started gluing already, but you do kind of want to go ahead and kind of place it down first, so that way you have a general idea of where you want it to go. So I did not do that first, only because I already knew. But you just kind of want to place it down and just give it a little tap there. Then we're going to do the same thing. So this one you might want to do. So just kind of have an idea of like what it looks like so it's centered. Obviously, if you're kind of off like this, then you can tell it's not really centered. Or even if you went down this way, you can really see that it's not centered. So you kind of just want to have an idea of the placement there where it looks like it's centered, even though we're not going with any direct measurements, okay? So you can see it right there. I'm gonna lift this one up now, and I'm gonna add, again, a little bit more glue right here along the back. And just make sure, now when you go to do the letters, don't go crazy with the glue. A little bit will go a long way. You could even use just some of the glue if it's there, like on the edge of your needlepoint tip there. That's okay too. All right, oh, I missed this one little spot right there. Okay, and then you can just, like I said, kind of get an eyeball to where you want it to be, and then just press it down. And that will finish off this one. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting. Thanks for watching.